This Sutton Bank walk begins at the car park on Lowtown Bank Road, near the Yorkshire Gliding Club. The route follows the Cleveland Way for its entire length. It's a straightforward linear trail, a simple there and back walk rather than a circular loop. The paths are well defined and easy to follow. On clear days, the views across the Vale of Mowbray are spectacular. You can choose how far to walk before turning back, which makes this route as flexible as it is scenic. After parking on Lowtown Bank Road, we set off along the well-maintained path across Lowtown Brow, which leads us towards the famous White Horse Hill figure. A short stroll soon brings us above the White Horse itself, where the landscape opens out and we're greeted with sweeping countryside views. The path across the escarpment is flat and easy to follow, with benches dotted along the way, offering plenty of chances to pause and take it all in. As we continue, the rocky outcrop of Ivy Scar comes into view, the first of many dramatic viewpoints on this Sutton Bank walk. The route now carries us across the top of Roulston Scar. To the west we spot Hood Hill, rising 250 metres above the valley. This scar once held an Iron Age hill fort dating back over 2,000 years. From Roulston Scar, the views are magnificent. Below lies Hood Hill Plantation, a patchwork of woodland, while farmland stretches out across the vale. We soon gain another fine view of Hood Hill, this time from slightly higher ground. On the summit are the remains of a Norman fort built in the 11th century. Moving on, the Yorkshire Gliding Club soon comes into sight. Gliders circle silently on the strong winds, rising from the escarpment, making this the perfect place for the sport. The club is one of the oldest in the world. Famous aviators trained here, including Amy Johnson, who became the first woman to fly solo from Britain to Australia. Leaving the club behind, we pass a dramatic spot known as Knowlson's Drop, where benches provide another chance to rest and enjoy the far-reaching views. Looking southwest, we see Hood Hill once more, with the rocky line of Roulston Scar stretching away to the left. By now we're just over a mile into the walk. We ignore the signposted footpath to Hambleton and keep straight on towards the Sutton Bank Visitor Centre, staying on the broad level trail. This stretch forms part of the Cleveland Way, a 109-mile national trail that opened in 1969, only the second official route of its kind in England and Wales. Just before reaching the main road, we spot a toposcope. Its engraved plate points out distant landmarks, helping us name the hills and valleys around us. Sutton Bank was also the site of the Battle of Byland in 1322, a fierce clash between English and Scottish forces. A stone monument marks the 700th anniversary. After carefully crossing the road, we rejoin the Cleveland Way, following clear signposts in the direction of Sneck Yate. Soon a sign promises the finest view in England, heightening our anticipation as we continue along the trail. Moments later we arrive at an elaborate viewpoint with an information board. It explains that James Herriot, the local vet and writer, described this as the finest view in England. The path now leads us into a grove of silver birch trees. Their pale trunks line the way as we move deeper into the woodland, around 2 miles into the walk. Emerging from the trees, we're treated to a dramatic panorama of Whitestone Cliff, also called Whitemare Crag, its towering face shaped by a landslip in the 18th century. From the same spot we can also see Gormire Lake below, a quiet body of water surrounded by ancient woodland and one of only 4 natural lakes in Yorkshire. Formed during the last ice age, Gormire Lake has no visible streams running in or out. Instead it's fed by underground springs, which adds to its mystery. Since leaving the White Horse, we've followed the Cleveland Way without a break, and after passing Whitestone Cliff we carry on along the same clear path towards Sneck Yate. The trail narrows as it leads us towards Boltby Scar, still easy underfoot with only gentle rises and falls. Crossing the top of Boltby Scar, we look westward. On a clear day like this, the hills of the Yorkshire Dales come into view on the far horizon, including Great Whernside and Penhill. In the valley below lies the pretty village of Boltby, its stone cottages nestled among fields and woodland. Around 4.5 miles in we reach High Barn. Sadly, the old building is falling further into ruin, its roof sagging and its walls leaning precariously. From here, the path widens into a pleasant grassy track, which leads gently down to the minor road at Sneck Yate. Crossing the road, we follow the Cleveland Way back into woodland, shaded beneath tall trees arching overhead. This thin belt of trees is part of Boltby Forest, managed by Forestry England, with a mixture of conifers and broadleaf trees. Scots pine, spruce and larch dominate, but oak, birch and beech appear too, adding variety and colour. Passing through a gate, the woodland thins and the scenery opens out. We pause to enjoy the view, now about 5.5 miles into our walk. The route then meets a small tarmac road, climbing steadily towards High Paradise, the inclines gentle and the way clear. At last we reach High Paradise Farm, a 16th century farmhouse and small holding with a tea room, self-catering rooms and even a shop selling local produce. High Paradise is a welcome stop for walkers on the Cleveland Way, and it makes an ideal endpoint for our outward journey before turning back. From High Paradise we simply retrace our steps, making our 12-mile walk last around 5.5 hours in total. The return journey gives us the chance to see the same views again from a fresh angle and to enjoy once more the landmarks we passed earlier. Full directions, route statistics, photographs and maps are available on my website at paulbeal.com. You'll also find links to Ordnance Survey and Outdoor Active, where you can print the route, download it to your device or export it as a GPX file. Sutton Bank is one of the most striking features of the Hambleton Hills, with views that truly live up to their reputation. Choose a clear day if you can, and experience for yourself why this is one of the most memorable walks in the North York Moors.